Alright, pull up with Thomas. Today we're back here with Death Battle. Got an old school one. Scrooge McDuck versus Shovel Knight. So yeah, we got two people that just love themselves some money. Let's see which one. Will it be Scrooge? Shovel? Let's find out. Be sure to like, subscribe for more. Hope you enjoy. Here we begin. Still Scrooge.
Some people adventure for wealth. For others, the wealth is in the adventure.
Either way, you'll be successful if you can bounce off your enemies' heads.
Like Scrooge McDuck,
the wealthiest waterfowl to ever live.
And Shovel Knight, a shining example of the code of chivalry. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Here we go. First up,
in 1867, Scrooge McDuck was born to a poor family in Glasgow, Scotland. He grew up a relatively normal duckling until his 10th birthday.
Scrooge's father took him to see the remains of the old McDuck clan castle. See, their family wasn't always super poor, and Scrooge was inspired by the sight of their former glory. So the next day, he got a job and earned his first money ever. A dime.
The problem was, it was an American dime, and Scrooge was in Scotland.
Oof.
Naturally feeling pretty cheated, Scrooge swore
sharper
he'd
than
build
the
his fortune
Sharpies,
by being,
tougher than the Toughies.
Tougher than the Toughies, and sharper than the Sharpies.
So he hopped over to America to start his quest for wealth. And judging by his money vault today, where he literally swims in gold, I'd say he did a pretty effing good job.
Yes, so many vaults.
No obstacle was too difficult to keep him from fortune. By my estimations, his entire net worth today rests around $300 quadrillion.
Yeah,
rich as he is, he's got to defend his treasure trove somehow. So this wealthy waterfowl's got more guns than I do. Not
Can
to
you
mention
wonder
the
where
trusty cannons he has
Donald
hidden
gets
around
his
his
temper
manor.
from?
Nothing like some old-fashioned artillery for home defense.
Scrooge also has a number of unorthodox high-tech firearms.
Or as normal people call them, laser guns.
Yep.
My favorite is the one that can shoot through solid steel titanium. It's called the Burglar Stunner, but I'm pretty sure that'll do a hell of a lot more than stun him.
Well, my favorite would be Scrooge's Nutra-Friction and Anti-Inertia Rays. By removing a target's natural friction and inertia, these guns can turn a foe so slippery they can't grip anything, or take away all momentum from that foe's movement and weight. Without friction, a person will slide miles upon miles with no hope of stopping themselves. Without inertia, a cannonball will have even less impact than falling leaves, though it is
not the weight though.
Do not affect personal gravity.
Yeah, science and stuff. Though if I were him, I'd prefer the feel of one of his rifles or swords.
Or his signature sidearm, his trusty cane.
What's so special about a dusty old cane, you ask? Well, just look at the old quack go. Not every duck can turn their cane into both a club and a pogo stick.
Even when he's unarmed, Scrooge's thirst for wealth has pushed his body past many preconceived limits. He possesses incredible strength, speed, and durability.
Not to mention, the dude's got some serious huevos. One time when he was stuck in the savannah, he walked right up to a lion, beat it in a roaring match, and then just rode it all the way to town.
He's also a surprisingly skilled marksman.
Like some sort of gun-toting Mr. Miyagi, he can shoot flies out of the air with perfect precision.
And he's no slouch with a blade. Apparently, Buffalo Bill taught him how to knife fight in engine style. And now's a great time to remind you that Scrooge is pretty old. It was a different time.
Racism aside, it takes a lot to put this mighty mallard down. He survived the Titanic sinking, being frozen solid in the Yukon, fighting hordes of wild animals, and taking a cannon shot to the face before being dragged through a minefield. He's even survived a trip to the literal center of the Earth, which, if you've forgotten, is pretty much super lava.
That's putting it mildly. The Earth's core is estimated to be well over 9,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
More than hot enough to cook your goose.
He's outrun a cheetah, which can reach 75 miles per hour. He's stopped a charging water buffalo, which can weigh up to 2,600 pounds.
And did you ever hear that legend where George Washington threw a silver dollar across the Potomac River? Well, Scrooge can do that too. And he even caught the coin on the other side. Because Scrooge isn't gonna waste a single dollar.
Fair enough.
Seems pretty impressive, but Scrooge has some massively problematic flaws. Least of all is his age. He's 150 years old. That won't do him any favors in a fight.
So?
And why can't he fly? I mean, he's a duck with his own private plane, and he has human teeth, and they really should just hire a poultry scientist at Disney. Oh,
Yeah, I mean-
I'll send my resume.
Well, more importantly
Humanoid
would
duck,
be
but-
his overpowering greed. He can often lose sight of his goals or explode into an uncontrollable rage if someone threatens his wealth.
He is pretty selfish and has a one-track mind. I don't know if the uncontrollable rage part, though, is such a bad thing.
Certainly not in some situations.
True.
Like the time Soapy Slick tried to rip Scrooge off, steal his property, and humiliate him by chaining him to a steamboat and making fun of his letters from home, including one informing Scrooge of his mother's passing.
That's more than enough to piss Scrooge
yep.
off. So much that he literally tore the entire boat apart with his bare hands. Or
Whoops.
wings. Holy damn, that's some real foul strength.
Just goes to show
Yeah, and you wonder where Donald gets his anger from. I'm just saying, you know Scrooge is not gonna give up his treasure. Though I think I can see how this fight starts.
that nothing can stand between Scrooge and his wealth.
I don't know which was wilder in those days, the wolves or me.
Man, you gotta be tough to be able to scare wild animals like that. Oh,
A
show
long
it!
time ago, the world was wild, and adventurers roamed the land. The most famous of whom were partners Shield Knight and Shovel Knight.
You can tell how good they are by the giant piles of loot behind them.
Shovel Knight and Shield Knight traveled together, and they were the stuff of legend. That is,
Sorry,
until the Tower of Fate.
Once inside, a cursed amulet knocked Shovel Knight out cold. When he woke up, Shield Knight was gone and the tower was sealed shut. And boy, did that bum him out. So, like all depressed heroes, he abandoned everything and went to the wilderness to do a bunch of farming and most likely drinking.
Soon after he retired, an evil woman called the Enchantress took
Hackett?
power, along with a
Or
group
maybe
of
I'm
villainous
thinking
knights known as the Order of No Quarter.
Probably
Get
not.
it? It's funny. So maybe retiring wasn't the most responsible idea.
Man's gotta
Be fair.
mourn, Wiz. Man's gotta mourn.
You mean like when you took a week off to mourn after your divorce? Because I'm pretty sure all you did was get drunk and shoot fireworks at my house.
Ah, yeah. Man, that was a real good mourn. Well, anyway,
Hey,
Shovel
people
Knight's break
mourn in
didn't
different
last
ways.
long. After the Enchantress and her knights took hold of the land, the Tower of Fate unsealed. Knowing it was his only chance to find out what happened to Shield Knight, he dug back into action. And
Let's
with him,
get
he
digging.
took his mightiest weapon, a shovel.
Don't sell it short. It's not just any shovel, it's a shovel blade. And thanks to its surprisingly versatile nature, it can slash through anything from rats to...
Holy crap! Did he just kill a dragon with that thing?
Yep.
Yes, he did.
That reminds me of the time I made my own weapon out of a yard tool.
Really?
I miss my rake blade. But everyone got really confused and offended whenever I yelled my catchphrase, "Prepare to get raked!" So I
Yeah.
stopped using it.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
Probably smart. Well,
Whoops.
thanks to the Shovel Blade's unique
Drop the
attributes,
charge handle and
Shovel
the drop
Knight has a
shot.
repertoire of deadly attacks, his signature being the Shovel Drop.
This deadly downward drop allows him to dig into his enemies, pogo stick style.
Yep. Usually
Now,
takes one
where
shot.
have I seen that before?
He also has a charge attack that, when unleashed, does massive damage and can even penetrate armor. If his enemy is more than a scoop's reach away, he can strike the earth to fire a dangerous spark that travels along the ground.
You know what else it's good for? Digging up all of that sweet, sweet treasure.
But the Shovel Blade is far from his only weapon.
That's with the gold.
Throughout his journey, Shovel Knight has acquired
it's
many
on.
magical relics, which are quite handy in battle, though they do require access to a limited supply of magic to use.
He can set stuff on fire with the flare wand, or punch through compact dirt with the dust knuckles.
He can also take the wind out of his enemies with the throwing anchor, or fly a short distance with the propeller dagger.
If Shovel Knight needs to kill bad guys in those hard-to-reach spaces, he has his trusty Chaos Orb, which acts like a bouncy ball of doom.
He also possesses the Mobile Gear, a mechanism which allows him to traverse dangerous terrain such as spikes and small gaps with ease.
Mobile gear. But my favorite relic is the War Horn, which is kind of like the Horn of Gondor, but it makes people explode.
Shovel Knight carries a few defensive relics as well.
Yeah, like those sweet fish goblets.
You mean the Truple Chalices. These special liquid receptacles can carry ichors, substances which, when drunk, provide certain benefits to Shovel Knight. Most notably, the Ichor of Renewal, which fully restores his health and magic.
Nice.
And how do you get such a useful liquid? from a bunch of fish that perform an interpretive dance and spit in your cup.
Why
It's
not?
dinner and a show.
Last
Thank
but
you.
not least is the Phase Locket. This relic allows Shovel Knight to pass through his enemies and even grants him temporary invincibility while under its effect.
Like all good knights, our shovel-wielding friend protects himself with a suit of shining armor. Actually, he's got a few of them.
Yeah,
His
it does.
most capable all-around set is the Dynamo Mail. Along with providing the kind of defense you need for fighting the forces of evil, it has an added bonus. Hitting just about anything with his shovel drop builds up a powerful charge attack.
Normally, a large suit of
makes
armor
sense.
comes with a lot of extra weight, but Shovel Knight doesn't let that slow him down.
Even in full plate, our delving hero seemingly never tires and is
boing.
agile enough to dodge everything from cannonballs to fireballs.
Actually,
Hey, well,
the weight is more of a bonus since his attack of choice is bouncing on heads. Where's math that?
On it, comparing
Thank
his
you.
height to these doors, Shovel Knight appears to be about 4 feet 6 inches tall. Given his broad physique, he likely weighs approximately 100 pounds at most. In the 14th century, a knight's plate armor for combat typically weighed about 60 pounds. Scaling to Shovel Knight's height, his armor likely weighs 50 pounds. Including the 5-pound shovel, he must drop with a force of over 6,700 joules of kinetic energy.
Damn.
In comparison, Mike Tyson can punch with up to 1,600 joules and has knocked out 44 people in the ring. And Shovel Knight's striking power is over 4 times stronger than that.
Damn, Mike Tyson.
Good job! No wonder Shovel Knight was able to
Beat
take
the
down
quarter
the entire
twice.
Order of No Quarter,
I'm told
including a
Kratos.
giant steampunk mech and the Enchantress herself.
He's also stubborn enough to hold his breath underwater for an impressively indefinite amount of time. And he even held his own against the Battletoads and Kratos, the upcoming god of war.
What the hell? Really? That's awesome! Guess you sell enough games, you can get anybody.
But even after all that, Shovel Knight doesn't seem the most intelligent warrior. After all, the only reason he gave up on Shield Knight for so long is because he just assumed she was dead.
Dude,
I mean,
he's
fair
one
assumption.
deadly warrior who isn't afraid to put his enemies 6 feet under. You know, because he digs holes and stuff.
Take that, Enchantress. And well, you guys know the drill. Just gonna go ahead and pass through right into the next battle. So, for who win? I feel like it might go to Scrooge, but well, it's been a while since I've seen this, so we'll see. Shall we see who wins the fight? Let's go. That's Francis. Uh-oh. Oh, Scrooge found out. Oh, hi. Ow. Here we go. Fight! Oh, boy. Oh, he's like... Come on. Oh! Yeah, good luck, Scrooge. Put me in there for a tough fight. Kinda time. Bam! Oh, hey. You're on. I must have pulled that from Link. Yeah, hang a bit. Whoop. Oh, jeez. You're like treasure. Oh, no, you don't. Come on. It's like, really? Try better than that. Oof. Oh, that's good. Oh, whoa! Shovel Knight, go for it! Oh, killing blow soon. Oh, there's your ray. And there were friction ray. Let's see if this works. Uh-oh. Oh, he's got nothing. Oh, incoming. Ooh. Damn! Oh, weapon too.
KO! Damn, that's cold! With his own weapon!
Yeah, that's what I thought
Shovel
too.
Knight
God
might
damn.
have been able to uphold the code of chivalry, but he could not hold up to Scrooge's wealth of experience and
kidding.
superior strength.
Aside from
older.
the extra 100+ years of experience he's got over Shovel Knight, Scrooge's feats blew him out of the water. For example, there's no way that Shovel could have put him down very quickly when
Sure,
he's
the
powered
cannon to
through
the
a
face
minefield
and
like it's
minefield.
nothing.
And remember how he threw a coin across the Potomac River and rode across fast enough to catch it? Well, we know the average width of the river is 1,300 feet, and he threw the coin at an angle of 20 degrees. After some quick calculations, this means he must have thrown the coin, boarded his boat, rowed across the entire river, and exited the boat to catch the coin in less than 5.4 seconds. This means he must have been rowing the boat at speeds well over 164 miles per hour.
Jesus, how fast are his arms moving there?
A lot of
To make all
rotations.
that work, at least 14,400 rotations per minute.
That's ducking awesome!
Amen.
He is strong enough to rip apart a steamboat after all. But regardless of Scrooge's power, Shovel Knight had very little options to defend against the Duck's wackier, physics-breaking weaponry. Those that could buy him some time could only last for so long due to his limited supply of magic.
Plus, Scrooge has fought knights and magicians before, while Shovel Knight never fought anyone quite like Scrooge McDuck. Looks like Shovel Knight dug his own
Brave
grave.
indeed.
The winner is Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, looks like there was just no outfoxing good old you know who. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, adios.